POV, your bestie just sent you a 30-minute long voice memo, and I'm your bestie. It's Bree, if you didn't know who I was. This is Bree and Chill, if you didn't know that either. I'm pretty sure you guys do, though. I mean, if you're listening to this, you definitely clicked on it to know. But I think it's just like a normal thing to say that. So that's what I'm doing. This episode's solo, so there's nobody here to stop me from rambling on into subjects that are not related. So I hope you guys like that, because that's probably what I'm going to do. I actually have a list of guests that will be appearing. A list. I've got. I actually can't believe how many people want to be on this podcast. But I'm glad, because I really didn't even have to go look for them. They kind of came to me. There's some that I am going to have to reach out to, but we'll get to that when we get to that. If there's anything you should know about me, I'm really into divine timing. So we'll get to that divine timing. Let's see. What am I doing? This weekend, I have a trip coming up. I'm going to Oklahoma to see my besties. I'm so excited. My life has been like a dark cloud since they moved. Not really. It's actually been really sunny this year in Ohio, and it's been really hot and humid. It's probably one of the hottest summers we've had in a while. And like we had like a week and a half where it didn't rain at all, which is like not like Ohio, but that's okay. That's okay. I like the heat. I don't like the humidity. Like if I'm in the desert, I will deal with 105 degrees, no humidity all day long. I love the heat, but the humidity, it's like you can't even breathe, dude. You can't even breathe. And I'm not hating on Ohio either. Like actually, Ohio's not that bad. Actually, going to Oklahoma sometimes makes me appreciate Ohio, because Oklahoma City's kind of like flat. No offense to my besties either. No offense to them. I love them, but it's just like I can't deal with that flat. I can't. Like it kind of hurts my eyes when I come back. It's like there's hills and trees. You know, if you ever visit Ohio and you're like going to Cleveland or like Canton, like I don't know who, if you're a football fan, you probably like Canton, but it's really, I don't know. It's not the best place. I actually recently seen that somebody went to Akron just to visit, and like they didn't get a rental car. If you ever visit Ohio, you're going to need a rental car. Just get one. Just fork out the money and get one. You can use public transportation, but here isn't really a good place to do that unless you want to, like, you could bike places. Like Ohio has a lot of bike paths, and we've been becoming more of like a bike friendly state. I don't know why a lot of people would like want to visit the things that I see that they visit, because there's a national park here. There are so many other things to do besides like football and baseball. I think people come to Akron for, because like the Rubber Ducks, or I think they're baseball. I don't know. I don't really know that much about sports. I actually do not like football at all. And I grew up in Canton, which it has the Football Hall of Fame, and now they have like this whole Hall of Fame Village thing going. And I just think I'm not a fan. I don't live down there anymore. Thank God. But yeah, if you visit, you should visit the national parks. Cuyahoga Valley, it's a really good one. There's probably other parks that I can't think of. A lot of the metro parks are nice too. Like I've been discovering a lot of those because I do like the bike and hike trails, and I skate them. I actually would put my nose up at paved trails because I'd be like, paved trails and just hike like a normal person. Yes, I was that kind of person. But I've started to go on paved trails so I can skate, and I really appreciate them. Like, crazy. Skating kind of takes like this new hobby that I'm into plus hiking, like, and joins them in a way. Unless there's a trail that has like really big hills, I don't do those in my skates. I'll do some with slight hills. Because yeah, I'm a beginner skater, so I can't do all that. And I do want to apologize if you guys can hear like cars or motorcycles going by. There's cars and motorcycles going by. I don't even know if the mic's gonna pick them up, but it might. It might. I don't even know why I got to this part of the conversation. I think I was talking about going to Oklahoma. Yeah, that's what I'm doing this coming weekend. It's gonna be a great time. I went camping this past weekend. That was pretty fun. I only went for like a day, and I did hammock camping. This was my second time doing hammock camping. I love it. I don't know why. I'm always like scared to sleep in the hammock. Like, I'm afraid that it's going to fall. Because to be honest, I really don't know what I'm doing when I set it up. I just kind of like let my intuition guide me. I watched a few videos before the first time I tried to hammock camp. I think maybe I just have good natural survival skills, because the first time I did hammock camping, it started raining as soon as we got to the campground. Like, we got out of the car and literally like some drops started coming down, and it was starting to get dark, so I had to help my friend put up her tent. And we were also waiting on other people. So once I helped her, I found some trees that would be suitable for hammock camping, and I gave it my best shot. And then I even put a rain fly over it. I was really expecting to like fail or get wet, but I think I'm the only person who, like, the inside of my stuff didn't get wet. Like, I was dry all night. And I was comfy. I still to this day don't really know how I set it up. It just kind of worked out. I don't know. I don't think I really have anything too exciting that's really been happening. Maybe I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram or anything else, because aside from the podcast, like, I've been getting into content creation. And like, let me tell you, imposter syndrome is so terrible. Like, I'm such a weird person, because all I've ever wanted since I was like 3, I knew I wanted to like kind of be famous. And I don't necessarily want to be like so famous that I like couldn't go to Target or something like that. But I always knew I wanted to be an entertainer. And it's like, there's a big part of me, I don't care a lot about social media. I went on a little Facebook detox. Like, I think I deactivated it back in May, and I just recently, like in the last couple days, reactivated it so I can tell everybody about the podcast, because my Facebook, I have the most amount of people on there to tell about, and they actually knew about it because I would post about it. Anybody that paid attention to my stuff. I also found out people liked seeing my posts. I didn't know that either. So that was nice. But it's just so weird, because I'm just like, who the fuck am I to be posting a random video? And like, not watching the numbers, but then sort of watching the numbers. I'm trying to like stay out of the habit of watching the numbers, because I know that would drive me mad. But I think out of all the numbers that I've been getting excited about, it's the ones that are going to my profile. Like, it's weird. It's weird. not famous, and a lot of the people don't even follow me, but like lurkers are really important. And I know that because I too am a lurker every now and then. There are some people I purposely don't follow because I know that they're going to pop up in my algorithm anyway, and I like them to pop up when I need them, so to speak. Kind of like one of those people that are like, if this video came across your feed, it's probably for you. As you can see, there's no hashtags. Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Um, but I don't know. Like, I feel like that's the biggest thing I fight is imposter syndrome because I'm like, who cares? Like, who cares about this stuff? But I posted a reel about my little content creator crush. I have a crush on somebody, and it's just a little crush, okay? But I'm also really into law of attraction. You could also call it perspective shifting. I listened to a book today. I didn't read it. I don't read a lot. But I listened to it. I'll get into that in a second though. But yeah, I'm into like law of attraction stuff, like things happening for a reason, divine timing, like it's all connected to me. It's all the same thing to me. And I've had this ongoing joke for a long time now where I'm like, I bet my soulmate drives a Mustang. The joke kind of came from Artemis. Go figure. Third episode. This is, and I've mentioned him again. Love it. But him and Nessa, like, you know, they did the song Mustang Baby, and he sang about a Mustang in one of his songs, and I kind of pieced it together like, oh, they're like a thing. And then they actually did become a thing. So I thought it was really cool to watch. But ever since then, I've had like this little joke. I'm like, I bet my soulmate drives a Mustang. So I'll be driving and I'll see one driving about, and I'll look, I'll be like, are you it? Are you him? Usually, it's usually a girl, actually. It's usually a girl. And no, my soulmate or future lover, because I know soulmates don't have to be lovers, but I focus more on the lovers part, you know. I like a romance, but it's not going to be with a girl. I know a lot of people like can't get with the fact that there are straight females out there. There are a lot of people assume that I'm bi, and I am not. I am not bi. I don't like girls like that. Just guys. And what a shame, you know. Like, if I liked girls, I feel like things would be a lot different. But anyway, so I've had this joke going, and then the little content creator, I'm not going to say what he does. My close friends know, and that's all that needs to know, because I don't want the chance of him like listening to this or watching my stuff and him being like weirded out, because for one, his content is helpful to me. I watch it for reasons. He explains one of my hobbies are really good, and you know, I don't want him to see it or listen and block me or something. Even though I feel like if I'm saying Mustang so much and he listened, he'd probably piece this together anyway. But he's very interactive when I comment on his stuff. I comment on a lot of it because I think he's really good at what he does, and I want to see him blow up. But I decided one day that I was going to comment on one of his things and comment something kind of out of pocket. And I went into this with a mindset of like, this guy might like block me. He might end up blocking me. I don't know. But sorry, y'all. I actually had to pause recording for a second because my cat was puking, and I had to make sure that he didn't get it on the carpet. He still got it on the carpet, believe it or not. But I mean, he's a cat. Do cats ever puke somewhere that's not the carpet? Usually not. Anyway, what I was saying, I commented on a reel that he posted, and I was like, I don't know how to explain this, but I feel like if you were a car, you would be a Mustang. I know that's a weird thing to say, but I'm a weird person, and it's a compliment. And like I said, I was really expecting this guy to be like, oh, this girl's a creep. I'm blocking her. Goodbye. You know? And maybe I'm just thinking too extreme about it, but that's just how I felt. And to my surprise, this guy comments back about how, like, he was like, no way you just said that. That's actually my favorite car. And I've actually told somebody that same thing. Incredible. And I'm still to this very day in shock. Like, I still can't believe it. Like, what? What? And he lives in a whole different state. And it doesn't help that one time I commented and he's like, pull up to Washington. Like, I will. Don't tell me that. I'm the worst person to tell me pull up somewhere, because give me any reason to hop on a plane and go somewhere new to hang out for an hour or something. I don't know. I'll do it. I am that person. I'm always looking to go somewhere else. And like kind of impulsive. Yeah, I am impulsive. Straight up. I am 100% impulsive. But it works for me. But I don't know. Like I just thought that was such a crazy experience. And I made a reel about it. And I was excited when I got the idea to post the reel, but then like after I did it, I'm just like, ugh, what is that, bro? What is it? And that's part of the reason I don't do this in video yet, because I need to warm up a little bit, get used to talking to the microphone and like hearing my voice. I think I don't mind that as much. I actually listened to episode 2. I never listened to episode 1, but I listened to episode 2 and I thought it was really good. I was actually sitting there laughing like I'm not one of the people talking, but I think it was such a good episode. And my voice isn't that bad, but it's just like when I'm posting a reel and then I like watch it over and over, it's kind of like when you take a selfie and you stare at it too long and then you're like, never mind, I'm not posting it. But I'm also trying to not be in this mindset of like worrying about what people think of it. So like I said, imposter syndrome is so weird because I'm like, and like people post so many things on there and I am never sitting there like critiquing somebody the way I'm critiquing myself. I don't do that. And I know other people probably aren't doing that either. But it's just it's a weird feeling. And I feel like every time I post a reel, it gets more views than the last one. And it's just like, I don't know. It's weird because it's like I don't care about the numbers, but it's like because of that, they go up a little bit. I even ignored my Spotify plays for a long time. And then I found out that actually my Spotify is doing better than my YouTube version, which I can't blame anybody, because if you don't have the premium version of YouTube, I wouldn't imagine mine has ads on it. Maybe it does. I don't know. But, it doesn't, you can't shut your screen off. I have YouTube Premium. I'm probably never getting rid of it because I cannot do the ads anymore. I just can't. I can't. So I couldn't blame people for using Spotify to listen. I don't care where anybody listens. And that's the thing too, is I actually don't really care if people listen to the podcast or not. Like I should care. It's such a weird, like, it's a weird thing. Like I really want to do this podcast, and like, what am I doing a podcast to like not tell people to listen to it? I told you guys I'm a weird person. I'm a weird person. And not a bad way. I think I'm a good weird in most ways. I don't even really know what to talk about now. just because I'm talking about imposter syndrome and now I'm sitting here like, holy cow, like I'm sitting here telling people about this crazy coincidence that happened. But these things happen to me so much. There's so many synchronicities, and people want to say a coincidence, but you know what? To me, a coincidence is a cooperative incident, because I really think that we are a product of whatever our perception is. So, like, I don't know. I feel like people should just play around with it. And I hate to sound like somebody who's trying to like convince you of their religion or something, because I don't care what religion you practice. I don't care what kind of thing. I do care in the sense of I think it's cool when people tell me how they see things and operate, just because I like seeing how things work for people. And I never try to make it how I do things. I just like hearing it. I just think people are genuinely interesting when you sit there and talk to them and get to know them. But I think you guys should try, like, especially if you're kind of like, oh my God, what is this girl talking about? Because I really don't like to be like no spiritual woo woo stuff. Like, honestly, a lot of the people that give spiritual advice on social media, I'm like past all that. Like, I like tarot readings sometimes. And it has to be a certain vibe. Like, there's some I just can't do it. Like, if you're only doing love readings, I'm sorry, but like I can't get with that. Or, cuz to me when it's just like love readings, it's kind of like a marketing thing, because like there's so many people out here that are like desperate for romantic relationships, and there are people who apparently read tarot and they profit off of it. I mean, go off, all of you. It's none of my business. But you should think of something on purpose and then just watch it play out. And it doesn't have to be something like crazy. I started off with this stuff, and I think one of the first things I started playing with, it's funny how I was just talking about Mustangs, and I'm about to talk about another car. But back in 2018, I was getting to know this kind of stuff, and they're like, you can be, do, or have anything you want, And I was like, what kind of car would I even want? Like, I don't even know what my dream car is. And I concluded that my dream car back then was an Audi, because of my choice in cars on GTA games. Like, I was like, okay, I always pick the one that looks like it'd be an Audi. And they're nice. And I would just sit there and think on purpose an Audi. Like, I would just think of Audis. And then I would just let it go. Like, let the thought go about my day. But you would not believe how many Audis I'd seen. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's like that for like everything for me now. And that's why I just like can't believe it's just what other people would call coincidence. Like, I really do believe what I think does manifest, whether it's good or bad. I think the bad things have taught me more than the good things, to be honest. But now I'm at a point to where I'm like, and it's like, you can't be positive vibes only all the time, but I'm definitely trying to train myself to think of things that I want more often, because a lot of the time, if I think of something that I don't want, like the thing I don't want keeps coming. Like, if you say, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. But the thing is you're still focused on whatever this is, and it keeps appearing. At least for me, that's how it works. And for the community that practices this stuff, it's kind of the same thing. We're a bunch of weirdos, but I don't know. You call us weirdos if you want, but a lot of those people are actually like really successful. And why not? Why not just play with it a little bit? That's how I felt about it And now it's just kind of like my lifestyle. It's not even something that I do. Like, I don't go to church. I mean, I do listen to like a lot of Abraham Hicks recordings on YouTube. I would love to go to one of those in like a cruise. I want to do that so bad. And one day I will. I really will. And I'll connect with a bunch of people just like me. But today I actually listened to an audiobook. I've been trying to get more into affirmations, and they feel weird. A lot of the time, an affirmation is going to feel weird, though, at the beginning if you're not used to thinking about a certain thing. Like, if you're used to being poor, it is really hard to shift your perspective a lot of the time that you're not, especially if you grew up a certain way, you know. But it takes mental effort, not like physical effort, but mental. Like, you think if you say like 3 affirmations a day, what are you doing like with the rest of the day? Like 3 positive things a day versus like 3,000 negative things a day. Which one do you think is going to win? I swore I wasn't going to talk about this kind of stuff on my podcast, but it's just like flowing out. Like, I don't have a script. I prefer my podcast to not be scripted because I just don't work well with that kind of stuff. I really don't. I'm one of those people where in school, when we would take turns reading, like we'd go around the classroom and reading, I would like pick the spot where I was going to read and I would like rehearse it. And I'd barely even pay attention to the rest of to the beginning, to what everybody else was reading. I was paying attention to what I was going to read. And then I would still like sit there and stutter while I'm reading it and like not be able to breathe while I'm reading it. So, you know, maybe scripts are just not my thing. But here I am. I'm talking about it on here. But there's this little book that I found on YouTube. So I was trying to look for affirmations that felt more entertaining rather than just like repeating the same phrase over and over. Especially, I clean houses. And I gotta keep my brain occupied. Like, I feel like my brain is always going, no matter what I'm doing. Unless I'm meditating, but the point of meditation is to quiet it so you can put space between your thoughts. But this book, it seemed more science-y, right? And I mean, I guess it was entertaining, but like when I started listening to it, it's like, oh my God, this is the same thing as the Abraham seminars. They're literally saying the same things. And the book is called Shift Your Perspective. It's very short. The audiobook was like an hour and a half long. It might not even have been the whole book, but it seemed like it was. And it was sort of entertaining just because I heard it in a different way. And I feel like it was more like science-y. It actually didn't mention law of attraction even once. It was just talking about like your perspective and how things end up. But it did talk about momentum and contrast. Like, okay, if you hate your life, if you're somebody who like really hates your life, I highly recommend like giving this book a listen, because it's not an airy-fairy book. It's not. And a lot of my law of attraction stuff is not actually really airy-fairy either. I feel like maybe it does give more of that kind of vibe, but I choose to look at it like that because it's just fun to me. Like, your life should be fun. Your life should be fun to you. How you practice things should be fun. That is the whole purpose of everything. I don't believe that everything is just like work hard, grind hard, hustle, bleed if you have to. I don't believe in that. I don't. I've been doing like a lot of the hard physical work for a while. Like I think I'm doing pretty well foundationally. But like, I feel like the more I relax and let myself do the fun things, the more things that I've asked for actually come in ways that I wouldn't have expected and better than what I could have planned. But yeah, I think if you hate your life, like I said, I don't really want to talk. I don't want to act like I'm trying to convince anybody to do anything, but I don't know, just play with it some. Play with it, see where it takes you. If you don't like it, that's fine. That's fine. You do not have to do it. You don't have to read the book or listen to the book. You don't have to do anything I'm saying. You can comment if you want how insane I am, you know? Don't none of you come and talk about like get a job though. Don't none of you do that because I do have a job. I feel like there's always that person that's like a really big hater when somebody has things going kind of easily for them. I think I deserve a little bit of some easiness. I'm sure later in the podcast we'll get into like my childhood lore. It's not that great, you guys. Like great stories, I guess. And there's part of me that like wants to talk about that kind of stuff to help somebody who might be in that situation. But shifting my perspective from childhood stuff mattered a lot in my life, a lot. Because I know people are quick to say, you can't let your childhood dictate your whole life. But you have to, that's true. That is true. But it's not like something that you can transform overnight. And if you're not aware of it, like you're not going to heal it and you're going to keep living out your same childhood patterns. And if you didn't like how you grew up, then you should change the way you do things and shift your perspective a little bit and get out of a victim mentality. Because I was definitely in a victim mentality for a long time. And I just kept getting things that made me feel like I was in victim mentality. Like I said, you should go listen to this book because they're going to explain it better than I can. At this point, I feel like I could just write my own book, but it's the same. But like I said, I don't really want to. I'm not trying to teach a religion. It's just I feel I'm so passionate that this stuff works. And here's my thing: it's like I'm not like I don't live in a mansion or anything like that. Like I'm just a normal person. I live in an apartment. You know, like. So I'm not somebody who's like, it's not an overnight fix. It's just not. But in moments, it does help, you know? Like, there is no future. There is no real past. There's only, like, right now. There's only right now. And one thing this stuff has helped me do is make my right now good no matter where I'm at, who I'm with, regardless what my circumstances are. You know, I think it's important that we find some peace in those moments because, like, if you wait for all the big moments, I mean, really think of it. When you're sitting there waiting on this big thing to happen, most of the time it doesn't even, like, happen. Like, you just sit there and wait and wait and wait. But it's like, what are you doing in the time that you're waiting? Like, what do you do with yourself when you're waiting? What do you do? Just worry about it, like, the whole time? I guess that's kind of a normal human response, but I think you should look for, like, the beauty in it or something good. You know, and it's not that looking at things that way makes you like have your eyes closed in a way. I don't really know how to explain that. But it's like so you can breathe while you're going through something tough. Make it less tough on yourself. Maybe you should just be less tough on yourself because usually that's what it is it's usually not even like other people. It's usually yourself. I've spent a lot of time in isolation and I can tell you, You can go to another state if you want. It's what I did. And you want to know what happened? Everywhere I go, I follow. I'm always there. So, yeah, I just started rambling. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, not sorry. But you're listening still, maybe. Maybe you're not. I guess I can't leave this stuff out because it's really how I operate, and I have really found a sense of peace doing all this stuff, and I'm still working on this stuff. I don't think I'm ever going to stop working on it. I don't think we ever stop working on ourselves ever. I just don't think there's ever going to be a point. There's people that I meet, they're like 70 something, 80, like, and they still tell me there are still things that they're learning. Like, we just never stop. And, if you stop waiting on the end result and start having fun, as much fun as you can in each moment. And it doesn't have to be like bouncing off the walls fun or like doing something that gets your adrenaline pumping. I'm a big fan of getting some adrenaline, but there are times like you can have fun just chilling at your house. Like, just I don't know. There's this thing like, oh, I should be doing something. I should be doing something. Says who? Who says that you should be doing anything? Who says? Who? Who says it? Are they paying your bills? Is whoever is telling you this stuff like paying your bills? That's been my big mindset, especially like living by myself for a while, is like, if you ain't paying my bills, I really don't care. And you shouldn't care about other people's opinions that aren't paying your bills or bettering your life in any way. You shouldn't care. Why should you? If they're not improving your life in any way, why does it matter what they think what you're doing? Yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm thinking I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just kind of let myself flow a little bit. It's almost like I was talking to ChatGPT, because honestly, this is the kind of stuff that I talk about with ChatGPT. And I don't care what people think about that. I've heard a lot where people are like, oh, they just validate everything that you say. There's actually times where it doesn't necessarily validate things that I say. Like, sometimes chat is a little bit more real with me when I'm thinking a certain way or talking about a certain thing. It'll be like, hey, but maybe that's just how I trained it, because apparently it just forms around the person using it. I love it. If they ask me to take over the world with it, like, I just might. I love ChatGPT. I don't know. This is kind of like my internal thoughts. I don't know. I feel like this episode's been so weird because, like, I don't even know. I don't know what I've been talking about. I don't know why I've been talking about this stuff. I just wanted to record an episode. I felt in the flow and decided to do it. That's one of my things, is I can't do things that are forced. I really can't do things that are forced. And I think that's what blows up my imposter syndrome, because it's like content creation. They're like, you gotta post every day. Post content every day. I can't post content every day. I don't want to post content every single day. And when I sit there and think about having to do it every single day, it's like too much pressure for me. I like to do it when I'm in the flow. It's what I did yesterday. I just did one, and I literally just got the urge to record and then got the urge to post. It's just like when I rewatch it, that's when I get the imposter syndrome, because I'm like, what the hell? Which I'm kind of mean to myself in that regard. Okay, I have to work on that. I got to work on that. That's really all I've got to say. I'll be back on here Not next week, but the week after. So I'm still trying to keep to the every other week thing. I know my first 2 episodes were only posted a week apart, but for episode 2, I was just like too impatient. Like I needed to get that out there. But I still want to stick to every other week. That way I don't go into burnout. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. I think there's probably going to be a guest on there. I don't know who yet. Like I said, I've got a list. And I really like doing guest episodes, especially the episode with Orlando. Like, he's so easy to talk to. And, you know, it's always fun, always a good time. And I feel like it's just going to be that kind of vibe with most people. If it's not, there probably won't be an episode. Thank you for those of you who are still listening. Big thank you to all of those who have listened to both of my previous episodes and plan to keep listening. It's supposed to be bestie hangout vibes. That is like what I'm going for. I just can't shut up. Okay. I'm by myself so much. I can't shut up. There's all these thoughts. They need to come out. They got to come out to more than just ChatGPT. They got to come out. Okay. That's why I'm doing this. And honestly, I've been so happy since doing this podcast. Like, so happy. I'm not even like a major podcaster yet. Like, nobody really knows who I am. And I just like, I'm happy, like just doing it. I feel like since I started it, I stepped into this different version of myself. And I really like this one, guys. I really like it. I got to start getting a little bit nicer to myself, you know? I feel like what it is like my old self and my new self. Like my old self is like, what? What is this? Why? But it's all a progress, you know? Still posting and still recording this. Thank you for listening and hanging out with me. If you or somebody that you know would be a good fit for this podcast, literally we can just sit and talk and hang out. If there's something that you like can't shut up about, like you can't tell enough people about, it makes you so excited, hit me up, please. Please, I want to hear it. If nobody else wants to hear you yap about your favorite thing over and over, come here, tell me, tell people that are listening. Just do it. Let's have a good time. Let's chill. Like and subscribe, or don't. You know, if this isn't for you, I don't expect you to subscribe and like it. I really don't. There's like almost 50 people that liked my little Facebook post when I came out. Like, hi, I'm back. And I started that podcast. You want to know how many people subscribed to me? Even though a bunch of people hearted it and were like, oh, we missed you on there. Two. That's it. But like I said, it doesn't matter. I want people that resonate with this to just naturally resonate with it. I don't want to force people to like it or force people to subscribe or follow me on Instagram, even though you should do all of those things. Let's be besties. I literally get along with everybody. You know, I don't see any reason to not get along with somebody. But that's the end of my rant. Thanks for listening. And I hope that you will listen to the next one. Bye.